Mycology is the study of fungi. Try to explain anything that's going to be super jargony. It's a good way for me to practice breaking down some of these heavier topics. Like, everybody can appreciate them and not just people who are in that little silo. I try not to preach too much, even though those are subjects I feel really strongly about. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be like, you have to do this stuff now and the world is ending, and I want there to be a little upbeat positivity. My mom was constantly gardening, always growing something, plants in the house everywhere, gardens outside for herbs and flowers. And then my dad, his full-time job was landscaping. I guess maybe subconsciously it sunk in. That was like, you have to do this now. I went to the Podcast Movement Convention in July. It was great. There were tons of people. And it was constant. It was pretty exhausting. I met a lot of great people, and nobody there was doing a podcast about mushrooms or fungi.
Okay, so you're onto something.
Yeah. Paul Stamets is probably the biggest celebrity in mycology, and I don't think I'm anywhere close to him accepting an invitation to be on the show. They're very pretty, though. So if you Google just like spore prints, there's so many really cool.
Oh, yes, I will.
Really cool designs.
Yeah. You could probably use a studio with a person in the control room.
I could use a lot of things.
Yeah.
In fact, that's why I need sponsors for this show.
Oh, yeah, if anyone's listening,
it's really easy
contribute.
To become.
Yeah.
So if you go to fungitown.org, there's a green Become a Patron button, and if you click on that, there's $5. I think I have $1, $5, and $10 amounts. So those are different options, and the different rewards come with those different options.
Rewards,
so you can get like a sticker, or I have new bumper stickers that say "Follow me to Fungitown."
Awesome.
And I have these really pretty prints, mushroom prints.
Oh, I saw those on the Facebook page.
Yeah, Maggie Baxter is a local artist.
Okay, yeah.
Nice and work. So I have some prints that are available too.
Yeah,
so
beautiful.
Yeah, I could use the support. She takes notes and keeps samples of everything. She's very scientific the way she goes about it, and it's really cool because it's a way for someone who isn't professionally studying them to go out and collect them and do something fun with them and not worry about if they're edible or anything like that.
Right.
Because it doesn't, even if the mushroom that you're using to dye with is poisonous, the toxins don't absorb through the skin. So unless you drink, unless you eat a bunch of it.
What about if you have a cut on your hand?
No, you're fine. As long as you don't ingest the fungus.
Okay.
Then you're fine. You want to make sure you know what you're eating.
You have to know what you're getting.
Definitely.
Yeah.
A lot of people think of mushrooms as just a pizza topping, but there are so many mushrooms in the world. Not only different culinary mushrooms, like the button mushrooms we eat and portobellos, and there are truffles. There are a lot of medical applications, like I was touching on just a second ago. We get penicillin from penicillium, which is the mold that is on your bread. There's artistic applications like with the yarn dyeing. There's all the psychedelics, of course. If a plant is able to associate with a fungus underground, it thrives a lot more. Many, many plants, even the grass on your lawn, does so much better when it's paired with a fungus underground because the fungus so the fungus gets just sugar from the plant. It absorbs sugar through the roots of the plant, but it can reach further for water and other kinds of nutrients than the plant.
The fungus can? Okay.
And so it exchanges, so it gets sugar, but it gives nitrogen and
so it's like an auxiliary root extension, maybe.
And trees in a forest can associate with the same fungus and are able to pass chemical signals to each other through the fungus. If you start cutting down trees in a forest, the other trees understand that there's a threat. There are plants that can't grow without fungi. There are insects that farm fungi. There are fungi that farm insects. Well, maybe not farm. They eat insects. Like the zombie ant fungus.
What is that?
It is a fungus that infects ants.
Okay.
And it basically takes over their brain and eats their insides, and it makes the ant crawl up to an advantageous point that the fungi can release its spores from. So it controls the ant and makes it walk up to like the top of a leaf or something, and then it'll pop out of the ant's head, and the mushroom will come out and release the spore. It's really cool. There are people developing like leather alternatives and
from fungus.
packing styrofoam packing materials.
That is a great
out of
idea.
A fungus.
Oh my god.
So and they can customize it to any shape.
And it's biodegradable.
Absolutely.
It's just, I guess
it tastes good.
If it just wasn't called a tumor.
Yeah, that's kind of off-putting.
Yeah.
When you get it a lot of times in the store in a restaurant, they call it corn truffle.
Okay.
Even though it is not related to truffles.
I see.
At all. But it's a much happier sounding name than corn smut. They collected the fungus they use in that from azalea plants. Mm-hmm. Like in their neighbor's yard or on the property.
Oh, how fun!
There's in craft beer. There's been this movement towards like hyper local sourcing. I am a big fan of craft beer.
Yeah.
So it was a great episode for me because I got to hang out in the brewery and
did you
drink
taste
beer
sample some? Okay, good.
Definitely. And I got to when I interviewed Brian. The brewery was closed, so it was just me and him. He showed me all the different machinery and showed me the brewing containers and talked to me about the process and everything and had me try a bunch of different stuff, and it was really cool. So first they have to collect these. Once they've got it isolated and they've got it in the ideal growing conditions, they can produce tons and tons of yeast. A lot of the sour beers they get that sourness from a bacteria. That's a whole other thing.
Whole
That's
other
pretty
field
cool.
of study,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
But it's neat that they use these different microorganisms to give you different flavors.
Yes, that is amazing.
Something they had collected locally, like local as in on their property, local. You could taste a place. When I travel, I always try the local beers if I can, just to get a sense of like what's going on in this. I grew up in Denver, which is a huge beer town. Okay. They have the international beer competitions in Denver.
Oh, I bet it's awesome.
And so that's like how I got my taste for the beverage, I think. I don't eat them.
Right.
I'm not confident enough to identify them. A lot of them are very poisonous.
Okay.
And can cause, kidney failure and death.
Hey.
These amanitas were growing on my friend's yard. And I came by the next day, and the squirrels had just decimated them.
Wow.
So, I think the squirrels, they probably know what's cool to eat and what's not cool to eat for them.
Because they wouldn't have survived so long, right?
Right, yeah.
So you're pretty sure the squirrels ate them, or?
I'm positive. I saw one of the squirrels, chewing on,
Eating
just totally obliterated all of these mushrooms. So those guys, I didn't see any dead squirrels later.
So maybe it's okay for them.
Yeah, so maybe they have some kind of enzyme or something in their digestion to help block the toxins. Or maybe that particular amanita is not as toxic as other ones. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't have eaten it myself, but now that I've seen the squirrel eat it, I'm like, I would like to attract some crows to my yard because
really? I
think crows are incredibly cool.
Well, they're fascinating looking birds, yeah.
Very intelligent, and if you get a chance, there's a TED Talks by this guy who made a crow vending machine.
What?
And taught the crows how to use it.
Oh, funny.
And it's just really cool. I just think they're super neat birds. So I'd love to have them in my yard, but they don't come around. I hear them sometimes, like having their crow discussions.
And they look awesome. They're like shiny.
Yeah, I have several,
beautiful.
And then I have a raven on my back, and I have lots of flying things. Robins over here.
I like bird. Yeah, beautiful.
A bat on my back, and a bat on my foot, and a squirrel on my ankle.
Cool.
And a spider.
Spider. Do you have any fungi?
I don't yet, but I'm definitely gonna get the inky cap. All around us, all the time, there are fungal spores in the air. All the time, everywhere you go. You have fungi on your skin all the time, and it's helping. It's a good thing. So we're always breathing in these things. But that being said, there is a black mold that does grow in houses. And it can be very problematic. The spores can they get in the lungs and they can kind of grow in there and cause some serious respiratory stuff.
Well, I haven't seen anything. It's just I feel like
You kind of
feel something smells. It's musty. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you're not, if you're not seeing something, it might just be. It's probably not releasing spores, but if you see something, if you can find something, or if you start noticing any ill health effects, then I would definitely try to get someone to identify it for you.
What's your next pod coming out?
It's October, right? So I want to do Halloween themed fungi for October.
Okay.
That's what I'm planning on.
Okay.
So witch's butter is the name of a fungus, and jack-o'-lantern fungus is really, really cool because it glows in the dark.
Yeah. Oh, perfect.
And it's big and it's orange, and it's
exciting.
appropriately named. So, I want to do I love Halloween, so I want to do creepy themes for Halloween as much as possible. But that depends on my guests, the availability of my guests. Usually, I come up with a topic, and then I look for scientific papers on the subject, try to contact the people doing that research. I generally try to contact around 10 to 20 people, and then I kind of see who gets back to me. And I've often had researchers email me and say, hey, I heard about your podcast.
Hey,
I want to talk about my research. And I say, what do you do? Show me some links to some publications and some lab, and if they've got something interesting to talk about, we'll just do the interview.
The word's getting out there about your...
Yeah, a couple of times I mentioned that I do a podcast, and when I say the name of it, they're like, oh yeah, I've heard about that. And it makes me so happy.
That is awesome.
It makes me totally thrilled to know that people are talking about the show. I could use a lot of things.
Yeah.
In fact, that's why I need sponsors for the show. And so if you go to fungitown.org, there's a green Become a Patron button.